We gonna kill every last one of you.
Sinners is a 2025 action horror film produced, written, and directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan, Miles Caton, and Hailee Steinfeld. And this was one of those films where going in, there was just a lot of buzz. Every reaction that I saw online was positive. Everybody seemed to be giving it like 5 out of 5 stars. I love Ryan Coogler. I love pretty much everything that he's done, his entire filmography, and so I knew that him and Michael B. Jordan hadn't really missed yet, but I was curious to see what this was all about. It's like vampires. I didn't know much. I didn't get much from the trailers, and so I definitely still wanted to keep an open mind and not hype myself up too much. But my friends, I'm here to tell you the hype was absolutely real. But if you're new here, welcome to Jones Vibes. This is my out of theater reaction as well as my spoiler-free review for Sinners today. Be sure to leave all of your comments down below on the movie. But without further ado, let's dive into Sinners. The synopsis reads, two brothers return to their hometown in the Jim Crow era South seeking a fresh start, only to find that an even greater evil, including the Ku Klux Klan, has taken root. And that synopsis thematically tells a bit of a story, right? Like going in, you can kind of feel what this movie is going to be about, but you have to watch it to really know the essence of what this thing is going for, because it is absolutely crazy. Truly, my initial reaction walking out, like the first thing that I said was, I will not see a better movie this year than that. There's no way. I don't know if I'm going to see a better movie in the next 5 years than this film. And obviously, to each their own with this type of thing, but I am a musician at heart. Music is in my blood, and this movie tapped into something that I feel like has been missing from Hollywood, and few filmmakers still in the industry understand is needed out of Hollywood or out of the film industry. As an audience member, you go to the cinema to feel something, right? And what helps you feel that? The music, the score of the film, and then you get to watch this beautiful piece of art on the screen. These two things go hand in hand, and somehow that's gotten lost in the mix. That's why people love films like Star Wars so much. A lot of those John Williams scores that come out, or even the Batman. You hear people talk about the Batman in such a high regard. It's because the score is absolutely fantastic. Same with the Denis Villeneuve films. This is something that Christopher Nolan understands, but you have to pair it with an amazing filmmaker. And Ryan Coogler in this film proved that he can take on anything. Truly, he can do anything. He is another Christopher Nolan in the town now. Like, throw all the money at him and let this dude make whatever he wants. Because this film goes from being like a Django type feel. It's a beautifully written script that's not trying to force the dialogue on you. It just speaks for itself. You slowly but surely understand where the characters are coming from, but they don't pound you with that. It takes its time. And it goes from this really awesome script, this very nice setup, to this like dusk till dawn type situation with vampires. And by the time the vampires get there, you kind of forgot where you were in the first act, you know what I mean? And then throughout the rest of the film, it just goes insane. There's not much you can say without spoiling exactly what happens, but I think the thing that I want to cue on the most in this review is music. There is a scene in the middle of this film that will go down in history, at least for me, as one of the best musical scenes in a film that I've ever watched. And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but it hits all of the different points of musical history. It hits exactly what I'm talking about with how much music resonates with the audience, and it makes you understand kind of like how music can break those barriers and really just allow people to let go of everything, the good and the bad. And with that, in some cases, you can lose yourself. And typically, man, this movie is making me change like my whole style here. I usually get to the cast pretty quick, and I want to talk about the cast, but I'm already talking about the music, and somebody we need to talk about is the composer, Ludwig Göransson. This guy is just on the come up. Mandalorian, Oppenheimer, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Him and Coogler clearly have a great relationship, but this is a shining moment for this guy. I mean, I swear, even the duller moments out of this movie had this swelling score in the background that was just downright beautiful. It hits you in all those feels that you really want out of a cinematic experience, but then it also also hits you with all those highs. You know what I mean? Like, the musical highs in this film are outrageous, and that does bring me to the cast. Like, Michael B. Jordan, obviously he's fantastic, and him and Ryan Coogler have a great working relationship, but he's playing twins in this movie, and the way that they go about that is perfect. You could never tell that there weren't two Michael B. Jordans. I don't know how they do stuff like that on the film side of things, but obviously when you hear that somebody's playing the same person back to back, you're like, oh, I wonder if there's going to be any sort of like time that I can tell that they're like not in the same room. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's just like the film guy in me that I'm just looking for that type of thing, but truly you could not tell a bit, and the relationship between these two twin brothers hits so deep. It really reminded me of several different films just relating to like sibling bonding and stuff like that. But when you have Michael B. Jordan, he's such a great emotional actor, and even though he's not quite at the forefront of this film, there's a lot of different stuff going on. He manages to bring a performance that is just outstanding on both sides of it with both of the brothers, and so I absolutely loved him. Somebody else that I need to talk about, and this coincides with the music, bro, Miles Caton. He's playing the cousin of the two twin brothers. They call him Preacher Boy, and he is this blues guitarist with the voice of an angel, and he really brings that musical aspect. This kid's voice was so great. I've never seen him in anything, but his performance in this movie was fantastic. I want to see him in everything. I'd love to see him in serious roles, but I'd also love to see him in a musical, like be the star of a musical, because again, his voice was fantastic, and what they did with the character of Sammy was outstanding. And then the other cast members are just great. Like Hailee Steinfeld, she was really like the white person on this side of the movie with the Michael B. Jordan characters and all of that stuff, and she just continues to prove that she belongs on the screen. She was so great in this film. There were times that she was amazing and sweet. There were also times that she was haunting, as you've probably seen in the trailer. But last but not least, and I honestly, I could focus on everybody. Like, everybody was so great in this movie, but Jack O'Connell. This guy plays the villain, and somehow the villain in this film has the voice of an angel as well. It's absurd. I don't know if he did his own singing. That's something that I would love to look into. Let me know down in the comments if you know that, but if he did, it was so freaking impressive. Again, the music is like a big deal in this film, but it's not a musical. So if you haven't seen this movie yet and you're relying on this review to like see whether or not you should go and you're turned off by musicals, it's not a musical by any means, but there is a large musical aspect to it. And even the villain is singing like these Irish songs, these Irish like old folk tunes. And I talked about one of the sequences in the middle of the film that has like this big musical breakdown, and it's so impressive and outstanding, but there's also a scene that's focusing on the villain and those Irish tunes, and people are dancing, and that swelled, that made my eyes teary. It was eerily beautiful because it's this evil vampire dude singing it, but the entire time I was sitting and watching it, I just couldn't believe that like Ryan Coogler managed to do something like this. It's one of the most impressive films that I've ever seen in my entire life. The set pieces were practical and they were beautiful. The monsters, the vampires were so insanely scary. It stuck to like vampire lore, which was fantastic if you grew up with those kinds of stories. It's just like kind of little things that everybody knows about vampires, but sometimes movies fail to tell. So you're like, wait a minute, isn't garlic not supposed to be by that vampire right now? You know what I mean? Ryan Coogler pays attention to every single detail, and the way that this thing escalates, it's freaking fantastic. And by the time you get to the end, you have all of these characters. There's so much that happens in this film, but really, the heartbeat of it is Miles Caton as well as Michael B. Jordan's characters. You got Smoke and Stack, and the way that everything wraps back around, it's just fantastic. It really is. And when you're so high on a movie like this, I am very high on this movie right now because I just watched it. There's almost adrenaline going. You don't know what to say besides, oh my gosh, that was so good. But I do want to hone in on how impressive this film was. Ryan Coogler came out with an excellent how it's made video for IMAX, as well as just what he shot it on, the aspect ratios changing, all of that good stuff. That is impressive in and of itself, but also telling a good story is another thing entirely. Truly, the things that impressed me the most was just the collaboration between Ryan Coogler and Ludwig, just like bringing that together, working hand in hand, and making that score feel like it was truly a part of it. It was your heartbeat throughout the entire thing. And then just paying attention to the script. The script was out of this world. You don't see writing like this in big cinematic events very often these days. This film has everything. It has action, it's scary as hell at certain points, but it's also sweet as hell. It's funny at different points, and the resolve is everything that you want it to be. It hits you in the feels. There's even a little post-credit scene, a little mid-credit scene, I might call it. It's actually pretty darn long, but it wraps up everything for one or two of the characters, or three of the characters, I guess. It's a feat of massive proportions, and I hope that studios are paying attention to this. First of all, I hope that audiences get out and see this movie. What I can say right now to you, my job here is to tell you, go out and watch this movie. Watch it multiple times. Make sure that something like this makes money so we can get more of this, because a lot of these blockbusters and things that come out, they don't care about the score. The score is not even a part of the film. You're just watching something. It's just a product on the screen, and we don't want that. We don't want that as the audience. We want stuff like this. This is the type of film that I grew up with. This is the type of film that makes waves, and it tells a story that is enriched with so much history, black history, white history, American history. It's uncomfortable at times, it's scary at times, it's painful at times, but as an audience member, you sit there and you watch a voice tell a story, and you learn something, and you're a part of something for a little while. It's just freaking beautiful. So that's about all I have to say, man. Ryan Coogler, you're amazing. Thank you for including the red eyes from Puss in Boots. I love how he takes inspiration from that. The villain was scary. He had long fingers, vampires, everything that I could ever want. As for my Jones 5-star rating, I gotta give Sinners 5 out of 5 stars, no doubt. I don't think that I've ever had more of a no doubt situation than this situation right here. No doubt. No doubt at all. But let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Sinners. This movie was an absolute banger to me. Maybe it wasn't to you. Please feel free to let your opinion ring out down in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, but more than anything, keep up the good vibes, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!